Update Fire and Ice is now live, and there are plenty of new vehicles, including a few not seen on the dev servers. Let's go through some of the biggest and most interesting changes. The Finnish subtree received a couple of extra vehicles. Starting at rank 1, we have the Vickers Mark E. Next up, we have what is quite possibly my favourite low-tier addition this update, the BT-42. The 114mm howitzer looks comically oversized when placed on the BT-7 chassis, but it is equipped with a heat shell, 115mm of pen, and a high explosive shell with 25mm of pen, but 14.4 kilograms of filler. Moving on to Russia, the USSR has received a new rank 6 light tank, the 2S-38. This tank sits at 9.7, is basically a PT-76 on steroids, comes with an auto-loaded 57mm gun, although this time it's housed in an unmanned turret. But that's not all, you also get new APFSDS shell and a HEVT shell. It's got some pretty nice fire control upgrades. It's got gunner and commander thermals, excellent gun handling, and a brand new feature, an auto tracker. This will allow you to lock onto planes and get a lead indicator similar to self-propelled anti-aircraft. This feature will also be available on high-tier IFVs. And if you think that wasn't bad, the 2S-38 will come at an eye-watering price tag of 9,090 golden birds. Anyways, let's get back into the new Preamps. We're also getting a torpedo-armed Focke-Wulf 190, A5U14, and a Soviet A20G. Won't dwell on these as they were already seen on the dev server, but just think torpedoes. This update also brings with it two new pack premiums. Japan is getting the $60 T2 early pack, while the American tree will be welcoming the $50 AH-64 Apache pack. If you do happen to pick up any of these premiums, make sure to use the link in the description to save 3% and get Ash's decal. Anyway, let's continue with the new Swedish vehicles. I guess Galgen must really love their Squadron T80s because there's been less than 2 months since the last one was added. So here we go. The tank isn't entirely copy-paste as it lacks the 3BM46 round found on its Soviet counterpart. But that's not the only addition to Swedish top tier, because the Finnish subtree ends with the 2A6, and that's quite a lot of top tier MBTs since Sweden already has 2 STRV-122s. While we're on the topic of top tier tanks, let's mention the M1A2 SEP. In War Thunder, the main draw of this particular modernised Abrams is its improved thermals, and also it gives the US tree another 11.0 main battle tank. The SEP also has the ability to mount an optional Tusk package as well. Moving on, Japan is also getting a new top tier main battle tank, the TKX. It's functionally identical to the Type 10, but it does help with its lineup. The Chinese tree will also be receiving several new vehicles, the Tor M1 SPAA, which will be a 11.0 SPAA that you can run alongside the ZT-99A, while the Q5 Late is an attacker armed with the targeting pod and a 500kg laser guided bombs. The custom loadout system has also been added to several other aircraft listed on screen now, and also shown on screen are all of the new vehicles. Additionally, there are 2 new maps, and Galgen has reworked some visual effects, but most notably tank tracks can now catch on fire, and this change is purely cosmetic, but it does change the visual experience. And with that, what is your favourite change in this update? Let us know in the comments down below.